19 minutes after 7 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice looking Tuesday morning. It is May 12th, 2015. 68 degrees. Whoa.
Sorry,
68 degrees here at the studios of The Source. WOCA broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall.
Yeah.
Just outside the WOCA commissary where you too can get a bite to eat and enjoy the ambiance of the mall.
I think it's wonderful here. It's so friendly feeling. Everybody has smiles, and it's a great place to work.
So how's everything?
Good. How's everything
Good morning,
with you?
Robin.
Good morning, Larry.
Got a good show. I trust, I feel, I predict, I expect. 7:35. It's a topic that people are talking about as we wrap up the school year and try to figure out how to. I'm a little bit perplexed about this whole discussion, but anyway, the question is testing students the answer to America's education woes? And so I will tell you the thoughts that different people have said in response to that question.
Okay.
And I can't imagine not testing students. I can't imagine what it would be like if at the end of the subject, you just closed the books and went on to the next thing without the teacher having any clue as to whether he or she did the job.
Yeah, keep those pop quizzes and those tests coming throughout the year.
I don't understand the question.
I think it's those big tests, the FCAT and all that
Well,
stuff.
we'll dive into that. It's an interesting one, so we'll dive into that. Let's see. At 8:35, that's when we don't dive into our opinions. We simply read the news. We shorten it. That's why we call it News Bites. Carol Ann will be here today. Carol Ann Baldwin. She is the host of In the Garden with Carol Ann. She is a master gardener, and she will answer your questions. I posted on my Facebook page a short video I made of my sago palm.
Yes, it's wonderful.
With 7 cones.
And a lot of bees.
A lot of bees and a very sweet smell to it. And so, yes.
It does smell good.
Life goes on outside my door.
That's a great title.
Franny Rose is coming out at 10:05. Franny is a spiritual teacher, and she's written a book called The Invitation, Uncovering God's Longing to be Heard. It is her memoir. Mm-hmm. Gosh, last night I read this short story that was really touching about this. Should I share it with you right now?
Sure.
It was a story about this man and this woman, and they had a little boy, and something was wrong. And so they took the little boy to the hospital, to the doctor, and they said he had about a year to live. His head was growing too fast or something, and they would be better off leaving him at the hospital.
Oh.
And so they did. And they were driving home, and the woman was in the backseat of the car with her mother-in-law, I think, and I guess very upset at the news that the baby wasn't going to live another year. And she was praying, and she looked up in the sky, and she saw a cloud formation that she thought looked like an arrow and was pointing back to Chicago, which is where the hospital was. Mm-hmm. So she said to her husband, "Stop the car. I want you to see the cloud in the sky." So the three of them get out and look at the cloud, and it looks like an arrow pointing to Chicago. So they took that as a sign from God to go back to the hospital and get the baby. So they did. And long story short, the boy lived to be 14 years old. He had to be in a wheelchair, but the joy that she expressed that she had so it's a sad ending because the boy dies, but he dies at 14. Not that that's a good age. There's no good age, but anyway, it was just a touching story that she felt like the 14-year gift from God was better than surrendering to the know-it-all doctors. Sometimes doctors are know-it-alls,
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, and I like doctors, so I'm not trying to pick on doctors. It was just a touching story. There was a touching video this morning I shared with you.
Made me cry.
Oh my goodness!
I cried in front of you.
It's made by the Huggies people, so I guess in a very remote way, it's an advertisement for them. But it shows this woman who is getting a sonogram, and the caption says she went blind when she was 17. So she had vision at one time. She knows what things look like, but she can't see now, and she certainly can't see the sonogram of her unborn son. So the doctor, without the woman knowing it, makes a 3D print of the baby, the baby's face and hands and arms.
15 minutes, it said, to take that.
Is that what it
made that? Yeah, really quick.
All right, so 15 minutes later, and not only does he print it out, but it's like a beautiful casting rendering of this unborn baby, and in Braille, printed on this thing, looks like it's made out of plaster, right?
Yeah.
In Braille are the words, "I am your son."
Yeah.
Something
gee.
like that, right?
Yeah.
And so he wraps it up in a towel and hands it to her, and she says, "What is this?" And she speaks Spanish, but there are subtitles. And he says, "That's your son." So she says, "What? What do you mean?" So she unwraps the towel from the thing, and she can feel the little nose and the little eyes and the little face of the unborn baby still inside of her. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, she finds the Braille that says, "I am your son." Oh, gosh, what a touching thing, huh?
Oh, very. I mean, I really cried. I just 3D, couldn't help it. It just came.
3D printing is something unbelievable.
It is.
I mean, there are some amazing things happening in this world right now.
When it's used for good things, gosh.
Well, absolutely, yeah. And, well, that's the thing with all technology, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any advancement in anything is people will use it the wrong way.
And she was
in the right way.
Blind, and oh my gosh, that doctor he has a place in heaven right now.
There you go. All right, so did I tell you, Franny Rose? Yes, Damage Control at 10:35. Joe Reichel hosts that segment. He's one of the owners of Damage Control Services. They fix homes when they are broken or damaged for one reason or another, and Joe also does the show so that you can fix your own home if you have a do-it-yourself project and you just need a little advice.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just trying to unclog the drain. Something like that. Rebecca Jaycox is coming on 11:05. She taught English at a high school in France. I wonder if you have to. I read somewhere that you could get a job teaching English to non-English speaking students in other countries, and you don't need to speak the language of the country.
Yes.
How would you communicate with your students?
Yes. I worked with a fellow at the Film Commission, and he went over there to Japan. He went to Japan to teach English to the students over there.
But he couldn't speak Japanese?
He couldn't. He knew enough to get along
Ohio?
because he studied for it. But I asked him, I said, well, how do you communicate in the class? He said it's their job to communicate with me because they're the ones that have to learn English. So I will veer from it a little bit. But he said they are required to they force themselves to speak in English. So he's really, really nice guy.
Ohio.
Young guy. Like he was 22 years old.
I know how to speak Japanese. Uh-huh. Ohio.
Oh, that's right.
It means hello, right? Ohio.
Yes.
And Florida means vacation. I think.
Yes.
I think Florida.
See, you're partway there now.
Mary Wheatley is coming at 11:20. She's the executive director of the Rheumatology Research Foundation. She's going to talk about the 30th anniversary of the Rheumatology Research Foundation and Giving Day, which is May 19th. Giving Day.
Yep.
Giving Day.
Yep.
Today, by the way.
A week from today, next
Today
Tuesday.
is National Odometer Day.
Really?
And in honor of National Odometer Day, when we're speaking to Galen Unold, we're going to talk about road trips.
Oh, excellent.
Today is also National Limerick Day. And in honor of National Limerick Day, on Fun with Joe, I'm going to read you a limerick that describes a movie. You just have to tell me what movie it describes.
Oh, cool.
Today is also National Nutty Fudge Day.
Ooh.
And in honor of National Nutty Fudge Day, I might go buy some Nutty Fudge. There's got to be some place in the mall that sells Nutty Fudge.
I would think so.
Where do they sell Nutty Fudge?
I don't know, but we'll find out. There's got to be a fudge place
Does that
somewhere.
cookie company sell that?
Maybe they sell fudge. We'll find out.
Today is also National Fibromyalgia Day. I'm sorry, National Fibromyalgia Awareness Day.
Okay.
So I thought I would share that with you. All right, let's see some of the news items that are making the rounds. You know, there was another earthquake in Nepal, right? You heard that?
Yes.
Another one. This is, I guess they consider this a separate earthquake, not an aftershock. It was 7.3, just less than three weeks after the magnitude 7.8 in the Himalayan nation. 8,000 people died in the first one. So far, only 4. But that number, chances are, will rise. Today's quake was centered in a remote area of eastern Nepal near the border with China. God, I had a weird dream last night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, somebody was telling me I was going to China. When do I have that dream?
Oh, China.
Wow. And then I was yelling at somebody because they were trying to sell me this soda that they said was a cure-all for anything.
Oh, yeah.
So this is how I had those dreams, because whenever you do a radio show, you're up against this ethical question. You know, do you appear to support a product that you don't think is real?
Yeah.
Now it hasn't
that's
happened.
awful.
It hasn't happened to me in years. So I'm wondering if we're going to have another one of those.
Yeah, I wonder too.
I mean, we had a product that some guy was trying to sell, and he swore it would get rid of Alzheimer's.
Yes.
And what it was bath oil. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I'm not going to be involved in that. I mean, he's paying for the time, so I have to be polite to him. I have to make the audience think I believe this is true.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to do that, and I didn't do that. And I thought, well, that's the end of my job. But it wasn't. I'm still here.
No, you have ethics.
But I just didn't see. It's possible I was wrong. Maybe there is a bath oil that get rid of Alzheimer's. But if there was, why aren't all the nursing homes using it
Exactly.
and getting rid of all the Alzheimer's?
That's right.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Steve Rappaport. Another major earthquake striking Nepal less than 3 weeks after a tremor killed more than 8,000 people.
The infrastructure was pretty rubbish before the first earthquake. It's terrible now. If you have another one, it'll just grind to a complete stop pretty quickly. One positive side is we know there's a lot of aid there already, and we know that there's an awful lot of aid workers in country.
Sky News correspondent Stuart Ramsey. Tom Brady to appeal his punishment for using underinflated footballs in the AFC title game.
The league announcing Monday it's suspending Brady for 4 games while also fining the Patriots $1 million and taking away 2 draft picks, and 2 equipment managers involved in the scheme were suspended indefinitely.
Fox's Kelly Wright. And Fox announcing American Idol will wrap up next year after a 15-season run. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Fox News on your time. The Fox News iPad app is ready to go with all the great features from FoxNews.com and our iPhone app optimized specifically for your iPad. Watch the latest clips from your favorite Fox News shows. Personalize the app by creating your own newscast using the video playlist. Listen to Fox News Radio live. Get local weather forecasts. And it's all free. Go to foxnews2go.mobi. That's Fox News, the number 2, go.mobi.
Some people would call him a loser. He ran for state office. He was beaten. He started a business. He failed. He ran for Congress. He lost. He was nominated for vice president. He lost again. But he knew only those who never tried are the real losers. And Abraham Lincoln was no loser. Persistence. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Looking for that spot to try some real Cuban food? Head on over to Mama V's Cuban Cafe with home-cooked food just like Abuela used to make it. Mama V's is the #1 authentic Cuban cuisine. Centrally located on Highway 200 in Ocala. Best Cuban sandwich, steak, black beans and rice, and yummy sweet plantains. Tres leche and flan for dessert. Mama V's is open Monday through Friday, 10 to 7, Saturday, 10 to 9. Sandwich combos include side and drink for $7.95. And you've got to try Mama V's Tropical Shakes. 622-1727. Mama V's Cuban Cafe.
Do you have areas that have started sagging or drooping? Is what you're looking at not quite the same as it was years ago? Are there enhancements you've been putting off? Is there serious damage you need fixed? Then call on us, Damage Control Services, when your roof is sagging and the drywall is drooping after a storm, or your home just needs some enhancements. From damage repairs to new construction, Damage Control Services is here to help.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
One of the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking, will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Pozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
All right, 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice, very nice looking Tuesday morning. You made it through Monday, and now you're in the thick of things, right? Mm-hmm. They say these are the days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, that most work is done.
Oh, I see.
You've heard that, right? Monday, people are still hungover from the weekend, not literally hungover.
Some people, though. You and I aren't. We jump.
Friday, everybody's kind of lackadaisical about their jobs.
Not us.
Did you ever hear that? Buy a car that was built on a Wednesday. You ever hear that?
No,
Buy a car
I've never
that was built
heard
on
that.
a Wednesday. Do cars get built in one day? See, I don't even know this.
I have no clue.
I went
you have
through
to take a tour.
When I was a kid, we went through a tour of the Ford factory. When I was a kid, which means in the 60s.
Yeah.
The Ford factory. I doubt that they're done the same way in these days. Right?
No, technology is so much different now.
So I watched this video of this surgery. This what do you call this? Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the surgical thing, but it was suturing a grape. They took the skin off of a grape and,
Really?
and sutured it back on. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Was
Da Vinci? Is it Da Vinci?
I have no clue.
This micro.
But you're probably right.
Whatever.
You have a mind like a steel trap.
No,
So.
no.
It's
a steel trap, a rusty steel trap. All right, let's see. Elsewhere in the news, I told you about the Nepal. I did not tell you about this, but I know you know about it. The NFL dropped the hammer on Tom Brady.
As they should.
New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Over the Deflategate thing. The league suspended Brady for 4 games without pay and hit the Patriots with a $1 million fine and took away a first-round draft pick in next year's draft, as well as a 4th-round pick in the 2017 draft.
Good.
The punishment comes after last week's release of a report by attorney Ted Wells, who was hired by the league to investigate allegations of game balls being tampered with. Wells found it is more probable than not that Brady was aware that Patriots employees were deflating game balls before January's AFC Championship game, also known as the Super Bowl. The NFL said Brady's actions were detrimental to the integrity of the sport. Brady's agent promised to appeal the decision.
Yeah, because he's the quarterback. That's his job to handle the ball all the time. And if he was legitimate, he would have pointed out that those balls didn't feel right.
Really?
That
See,
they should
I
have
don't
been
know.
more.
I don't know enough about it.
That's his job. I mean, that's his job is to handle the football.
I know, but can you tell? I don't know.
So I believe you can tell because you're the quarterback. You know what.
You have
what
a
feels
little
good and what
passion
doesn't,
in your voice about this story. You must be
Yeah.
passionate about this one.
Well, because he says.
Oh, wait a minute! They beat the Wisconsin team, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, now I get it. Now I remember.
Well, yeah, but he says he's going to appeal. But when it's your job, no matter what it is, if you are a writer, you know how a pen feels and a keyboard feels to your particular touch. If you're a guitarist or anything, you know how it feels. If you throw a football, you know how that football feels.
I had no idea. I was getting into something. I had no idea I was opening up a thing for you.
I just think he was.
Wow.
He should have. As soon as he felt that first ball, his conscience should have taken over and said, "Look, referee, this isn't the right."
You are just running with this one.
I'm done.
Did I ever tell you the story about the time I went?
I don't know. I guess I'm hyper. I
went-
have no clue why I'm this way today.
There was a lake near where I lived, and there was a dock that went out over the water. And I walked out onto that dock, and there was 2 dogs. One of them was my sister's dog, and the dog followed me to the dock, and this other dog came up on the dock. Mm-hmm. And I and they started getting into a fight.
Oh.
And so I wanted to break up the fight, so I thought I'd just push them into the water. I figured it'd be harmless. They wouldn't be fighting anymore. Nobody would be hurt, and I'd get my sister's dog and go home. But instead, I got a big gash in my arm from one of the dogs.
Oh,
so
no.
the lesson learned is don't get involved in a fight that's not yours. So as I bring up this topic and I realize you are like one of those fighting dogs, I'm just going to sit back and let you say what you got to say.
Did they go in the water? Did you push them? Were you successful?
No. But see,
Oh.
that's not the point. See, you went on a tangent. My point was to use that as a metaphor for you being so passionate about this
Yeah.
Tom Brady story.
Yeah, I said what I had to say. That's
You
just
said
my
what you had to say, but the phone, you don't realize because you can't see the screen, but the phone has been ringing this whole time. So my plan of talking about testing
Oh, sorry.
may not happen. No, it's okay. It's okay. I like to roll with the thing.
I've got an opinion about testing, too.
Okay, but I bet it's not as passionate about this. I pushed a button somehow. I imagine this would be a good topic for Galen, too, which means we might not get to talk about the road trips on the odometer day. Good morning, you're on the air.
Morning.
Oh, no, here we go.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Did I push another button?
The last time we played the Patriots in the Super Bowl, we beat them.
We.
We.
You and Hugh?
Green Bay.
Oh.
Yeah, we just went out there all by ourselves and the rest of the team, and we took, there's Hugh and Lyndon team. Yeah, we took care of them. We beat them. But to break up a dog fight next time, you and another person grab the back legs of the dog and pull and they lose all the strength in the jaw.
I heard this.
Oh, wow.
I know. I'm not going to do this.
One for each dog.
No, I heard this before, but I'm not going to do it. If I see two dogs fighting, that's it. They're just going to have to fight.
Don't stick your hands in the middle of them.
No, I'm not picking up their legs. They will poop on me or something.
Yeah. Hey, and I remember the coach saying, coach after the...
Oh, now we're back to the football. Okay. Okay.
What is it, the deep play poll?
Yeah.
That
Dogs and football.
they would have lost. They would have lost either way because I think the score was like 40-something.
You know, Linda, I had it didn't even occur to me when I used my metaphor about the dogs that I was touching two buttons with you. The dog button and the football button, especially this football.
Those are two of my favorite things.
Ay.
Football games.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
This was a great morning. That's right. You guys take care.
You made her day.
Yeah. Pick up a dog by the back legs. I'm not doing it if it happens again. I just let the dogs fight. I have no problem with letting them fight. If it's my dog and my dog is losing, then I'll kick the other dog in the head.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, Larry, Robin, good morning.
Oh, no.
My name is Ron.
Hi, Ron.
You were talking about the penalties for the Patriots, and something that always bothered me was the NCAA, the college ranks, they always punish the school by denying 12 scholarships, and really that is just denying 12 qualified people in education. Really, I don't understand that.
I never heard that before, but I agree with you though. If that's the way it is, I see that's kind of a crazy thing. These are kids going to school.
Yeah, exactly.
You all have a good morning.
All right, thank you. I never heard that before.
Thank you.
No, I'm not doubting it because I don't pay attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I never knew that
I
before.
believe it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Why would they do that?
Right.
Well,
exactly.
good. You know, see what he did? He built a bridge for me.
Yes, he did.
He built the bridge to the testing question. All right, so let's go to the testing question. Now, now, this is the most insane question I ever heard. Is testing students the answer to America's education woes? Well, no. No, that's not the answer. But let me tell you something. If your question is implying that we should do away with testing, then that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the question is, this is in the New York Times. It's just a couple of days ago that they had this. And Kevin Wellner, who is a professor of education and the director of the National Education Policy Center at the University of Colorado in Boulder, thinks that the testing regime in the United States isn't working.
Oh, gosh.
Listen what he says. He says, when No Child Left Behind was signed into law in 2002, the United States did indeed have a problem, one that was identified, at least partially, by President George W. Bush's condemnation of the, quote, soft bigotry of low expectations. Soft bigotry of low expectations. Since the nation's inception, many children of color and those living in poor communities have been denied fair opportunities to learn and to succeed. No Child Left Behind was supposed to change that by demanding that by 2014, all students would be proficient in math and reading. I would say, now, argue with me if you want, but I would say when he says children of color and those living in poor communities, you should just say those living in poor communities. I think a child in a poor community does have a disadvantage to a child living in a rich community. But I think there are children in the rich communities that are of color.
Of course.
So to take the in color part of that, I don't think that's right. I think the poor communities, which whether they're of color or not,
exactly,
whatever that means. I mean, we know what it means, but
race shouldn't be an issue.
Anyway, well, it was, but I don't know that it still is. We'll take a little break, and we'll continue this when we come back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be partly sunny and warm today with a hit-or-miss thunderstorm, high 87 to 91. Partly cloudy tonight, low 67 inland, 72 along the coast. Tomorrow, times of clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm in spots mainly during the afternoon hours over the interior, a high 88 to 92. Thursday, partly sunny with a shower or thunderstorm around in the afternoon, high 84 at the coast, 90 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
All right, nice short break. I like when we have a short break. All right, 14 minutes before 8 o'clock. And so we're talking about an article in the New York Times that is asking the question whether testing students in the United States is the answer to our education woes in this country. And there are different opinions. The one I was quoting from was the professor of education, and he goes on and on and on. And I know we have a call, so let me just go real quickly cut to the chase of what he says. He says, the evidence shows testing has done more harm than good, with test scores being pursued at the expense of deeper, broader learning problems. He says, simple logic tells us that if schools shift substantial time and energy toward reading and math, students should learn substantially more in those two subjects. But even that hasn't happened. At best, some research suggests a small upward trend in reading and math scores subsequent to the No Child Left Behind reforms. Other research suggests no uptick at all. Countering him is a lady named Patricia Levesque. She is former deputy chief of staff for education under Governor Jeb Bush from here in Florida. She's also the chief executive officer for Foundation for Excellence in Education, and she says the exact opposite. She says testing is necessary to expand opportunity for all. I have to agree with her.
Oh, certainly.
I can't understand why you wouldn't want that, and I don't understand the whole idea that I do get that poor kids sometimes have a disadvantage for a variety of reasons. Mm-hmm. By the way, there's a news item. I'll get to the phone real quick. A local guy, Edward Daniel Davis Sr., is being honored in Tallahassee in the Florida Civil Rights Hall of Fame. He's going to be honored tomorrow. So,
nice.
To his family, good for you. Congratulations. He passed away in 1989 at the age of 85.
Wow.
All right, Pete's waiting patiently. Good morning, Pete. Thank you for calling.
Thanks, Larry. This is a great topic, and I agree with both of those professors that you just quoted. Yes, testing is extremely important, and I also think that placing too heavy an emphasis on testing does hurt other aspects of a child's education, like art and music and history and stuff like that. So they're both right. So we need to find a middle ground somewhere. But one of the elements of this testing that's often overlooked is the testing is supposed to measure the progress of the students, but the testing was also designed to measure the effectiveness of the teachers, and that's where a lot of the resistance comes in, because the teachers' union wants to protect teachers' jobs. And we all know that if you're a unionized government employee, it's extremely difficult for you to be removed from your position. So the testing was designed to kind of show which teachers were falling down on the job. But as we've seen, first of all, the teachers have focused almost entirely on the test so they can keep their job. And then the other thing is that situations like we had in Atlanta where the educators were changing the test results so the kids would pass, so the teachers would keep their jobs and get a bonus. So the testing itself is not the problem, but the implementation of it, the design of it, it all needs to be looked at from top to bottom and straightened out. And my fear is that because it is a government program run by government bureaucrats, I don't know if it's ever going to be straightened out. Thanks, Larry.
All right, Pete. I agree with that. I mean, yes, if the test is done right and the scores are done right, and there are no strings attached to a teacher's job. I don't know. I mean, there should be some. See, for me, it's hard. It's hard to understand how this works. If you're a teacher, I would love to hear from you. When you have a classroom of students who are, in their education careers, have been poor students, and you're in charge now of teaching the students who are not the best, as opposed to a teacher who has a classroom of students who are all aces. And I guess that's necessary, is to group them that way, because I don't know. Or do you think differently? Do you think you should mix them up? Do you know, one thing I want to say, that in today's world, and smart is an interesting word. I use smart. It's an interesting question, because just because you're academically smart, just because you're good at academics, doesn't mean you're smarter than the kid who's not good at academics but is good, let's say, at mechanical things. I mean, when we went to school, I know it's 100 years ago, it feels like anyway, but I mean, you had those two groups. You had the kids who would do well probably in life as attorneys, probably do well in life as accountants, and then you had the kids who probably would do well in life as mechanics and as construction workers. And there was nothing stupid about either group. It was simply a different set of, what was the word called again? Aptitude. It was different aptitudes, right?
Yep.
And so, but in today's world, a mechanic almost doesn't exist in the same way it did when we were kids. Matt and I were talking about this yesterday on Matt's show, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive. Because in his world, you have to know kind of the academic things in order to be able to operate the computers, et cetera, that are being used nowadays. Even a surgeon would need to know something about computers, because they're using computers like the one we talked about to print up a 3D image, which is really probably rudimentary for somebody like that. But I think the gap between the kids who are academically smart and the kids who are not academically smart is really going to hurt the ones who are not academically smart, because there are no more, there are fewer factory type jobs. There are fewer true mechanic type jobs. There are fewer farmer type jobs that are purely about farming. You know, there's always some kind of aptitude that needs to be in the realm of academia, whatever the word would be.
Well, if you're a hairdresser, you have to know chemistry, because you're mixing chemicals together to color people's hair, things like that. I mean, you know, it's not just, and farming, you have to know how to work with chemicals for your crops and things. It's not just put the seed in the ground and watch it grow and then pull it out.
And so I guess the point I'm trying to make is that when you have this big gap, and you know that the kids who are more academically accomplished are going to be the ones who get the better jobs, which hasn't always been the case, but now it's more the case than it ever was. Is that fair to say? The kids who are not academically talented, but they might be talented, hugely talented, in mechanical skills and in what did they used to call it? There was a word for it.
I can't recall.
Technical things, or you know. Anyway, so she says, let's see, the lady I was talking about, Patricia Levesque, let me see, she says, the information age is demanding, and the ability to succeed in it is determined early. That's kind of what I was just trying to say.
Right.
Children who cannot read or lack basic math skills in the early grades already have fallen woefully behind, and their chances of catching up diminish every year. Do you know when we were working with and I want to talk about the reading part of this, because reading is probably as important as math, if not more. And when we were helping out the Literacy Council during the past campaign that's now over, but we got to meet one of the doctors who was on the board of directors for the Marion County Literacy Council.
Yep.
His name is easy to remember because he's got the same name as the actor Tim Conway. His name is Dr. Tim Conway. And Dr. Conway was amazing, outstanding, any other adjective you want to throw in there, because he was explaining to us that he has studied this for 30-something years, and that somebody's inability to learn to read may be, and see how good of a student I am, Robin, because you were there too, but he said there are two reasons. It could be simply an education that you didn't get, or it could be something that is truly genetic.
Yes.
Which is hard to imagine. But the thing is this, he said they have ways, they have techniques to fix the problems that are caused by genetics and to enable a person who is an adult who has never learned to read to learn how to read, which is outstanding, which is amazing, which we have to recognize this. I mean, just to give kudos to Dr. Conway and his amazing contribution to this organization trying to change people's lives in our community.
And he recognizes the way to teach people.
He has, there's some techniques. You'll have to ask him to explain it, and we had him on the show, and he did explain it to us. But you know me, I understood that he could do it. I didn't understand how he did it, but I understand that he can do it. And so the fact that those skills are there, he has them. What he needs, what we need from him, is to be duplicated all across the country, so that whatever he is using that is successfully teaching non-teachable adults to read. And when I say non-teachable, I mean there's something about their psyche, their makeup, their mind, their brain that is preventing them from learning how to read. He's figured it out, or I think he and his dad. Didn't he say his dad did this too?
Yeah. Yeah, his dad did it.
And he had this interesting story about his own daughter, if you remember this.
I do remember.
He told us this at the Kiss the Horse event. He said that his daughter was 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And they were telling the teachers came to him and said, look, she's not learning how to read, and or she's not doing good in school. And he said, is it a reading thing? And they said, yes. He says, okay, I can fix this. And they said, no, you won't be able to fix this. He goes, yes, I can fix this. And by the time she went back to school after the summer, she was an ace reader because he knew, and maybe he didn't see it in his own daughter because the teachers had to pick up on it.
Exactly.
Which, if you think about it now, just use that as an example right here for the test determining the teacher. If a student can't read because of something that has nothing to do with the teacher, right, except for maybe not having the skills that Dr. Conway was talking about, then you will have a low grade in your class, and you will look at fault even though other kids are passing. But that low grade from that one student will pull your evaluation down, right? Right? And that's not really fair. Especially if the teachers aren't even equipped with the same kind of understanding of how to teach that kind of a student the techniques that Dr. Conway was talking about.
Exactly.
So there's a lot more that needs to be said.
And teachers will pick up on it because teachers are very in touch with their students. Most teachers, there are some bad apples, but the majority of the teachers are in tune with their students. And they give pop quizzes, they give tests on their own every week to the students, and that's how they gauge how the students are learning. And then, you know, when they give their own tests, this has nothing to do with the state or national or any of that kind of stuff, you know, then they can see, did this child get 100? Did this child get a 45? Okay, this 45 student, what's, you know, he or she lacking in? And then the good student will call the parents in and say, look, your child's having trouble with this. We have to work with them. So that's the good thing about the tests that teachers give.
In 1999, the state of Florida adopted the A+ plan, which was a bunch of reforms to our education here. It including the nation's most rigorous accountability provisions. Ever since that, the state of Florida has become a national leader in academic progress, according to the lady who used to work for Jeb Bush, Patricia Levesque. Disadvantaged children showed the most gains because of this, according to the National Assessment of Education Progress. Her conclusion is this: a child whose progress is not monitored whose results don't matter is a child likely to fall through the cracks. That is her conclusion. The conclusion of the guy who says the tests aren't working and we need to figure something else out says his conclusion is the evidence shows testing has done more harm than good, with scores being pursued at the expense of deeper, broader learning. So, I mean, take that for what do you think? He says the machine runs on our children's test scores, and the growing opt-out movement is powerful because it starves the machine of its fuel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, opt-out. I want my child to opt out of a test.
Yeah, exactly. No, thank
you. She argues, we know the only way to ensure all students are learning is to measure their knowledge. If I'm going to take sides, I'm going to be on her side.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Just weeks after a major quake hit Nepal, it's hit by a new large quake. That's from cameras inside the parliament in Kathmandu, the 7.3 magnitude quake followed by a powerful aftershock. There are reports of dozens dead.
I think the biggest concern is if the epicenter really is as near to Everest as we believe it is. It's the villages that have already been hit around there that are going to be a problem, and the town of Lukla, which is where all of the main aid to the area comes in, but also where all the climbers coming off Everest would be leaving.
Stuart Ramsey with Fox Sister Network Sky News. Verizon announces it's buying AOL for about $4.4 billion. And the agent for New England Patriot Tom Brady says he will appeal his 4-game suspension over improperly inflated footballs and that his team is giving him unconditional support. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Fox News Early Prime, breaking down business news and its impact on your bottom line. Your World with Neil Cavuto.
That's how I do business. That's why I am business.
Bold positions and brash opinions on the topics America is buzzing about. The Five.
How do you think this will set in with the American people?
This will be the pulse of the nation.
Washington insight and political know-how from the best in the Beltway. Special report with Brett Baer.
The epicenter of the political world is here.
The #1 place for fair and balanced coverage. Fox News Channel.
What's wrong with working hard to make our lives and our kids' lives better? Nothing. At Fox Business, we don't have a problem with success. We have a very big problem with those who get in the way of it. We don't come out of the box bashing those who make money, just the politicians stealing it and the bureaucracies wasting it. We're not just sitting behind a desk. We're out in the field, on the floor, with the folks. Because when a story moves forward, so do we.
Fox Business, the power to prosper. Check your local listings.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
It's the end of the fiscal year, and that means budget cuts and number crunching. Now's the time of the year you're evaluating your expenses, planning your budget, and finding ways to save money and increase efficiency to maximize profits. Dex Imaging understands and delivers. Call Dex Imaging today for a free document management evaluation. Cutting your office expenses is as easy as calling Dex Imaging, 352-266-0333. Start saving money today and increase your bottom line with Dex Imaging. Printers, copiers, and fax machines that increase office productivity and save you money. No one understands your bottom line better. Call Dex Imaging today, 352-266-0333. Or check them out on the web at deximaging.com. That's DEXimaging.com. Or call 352-266-0333 for your free document management evaluation today.
Pay your taxes, eat your vegetables, watch your weight, mow the lawn, clean the house. We all have stuff we don't want to do. Isn't it about time you did something you wanted to do? Like getting your pilot's license? At Ocala Aviation, they make it fun and easy, and you can start by taking one of their Discovery flights. For only $99, you get to go up in the airplane with an FAA-certified flight instructor and actually fly the plane yourself. It's a perfect way to see if flying is for you. And once you get that ultimate feeling of freedom, Ocala Aviation can train you to get your pilot's license. Ocala Aviation also offers commercial flight training for those looking to make a career change and enter the world of commercial aviation. Ocala Aviation is conveniently located at the Ocala International Airport. So if you're ready to start your adventure, stop by or give them a call today. 861-7484. That's 861-7484. You'll be glad you did. I know I am. Ocala Aviation. Call today. 861-7484.